So the England team is out ahead of their clash down in Wales at the Principality Stadium. Now, first and foremost, let's start with 13. There was a lot of debate who might be coming in. Of course, Ollie Lawrence, lover of the pod. We had him on the other week. If you haven't listened to it, please check that one out. It's a great listen. But unfortunately, he's had a nasty Achilles injury, so we wish him very well. So there was a bit of a debate. Who would play 13? I was thinking either Elliot stays there on the back of his performance and what he did at the weekend at playing 13. Does Henry Slade come back in? But no, Tommy Freeman has gone from the wing to 13. And I'm excited about this. I've seen him play 13 a number of times for Northampton. He's strong, he's abrasive. Like, the more touches that Tommy Freeman gets, the better. He's been one of the standout backs for England, it's safe to say. And at 13, he's going to get the ball more often. Wales will probably challenge that channel because it's one of the hardest places to defend. So I think when this team news comes out to them, I expect them to run certain moves to really try and isolate Tommy, because that's a difficult thing to defend. However, he's got the physical attributes to deal with it, and I think he's going to be terrific. So good to see him in there. It was a debate, but he's going to get the nod there. So that's good for England that Tommy Freeman can free that. And also, it's an opportunity to see him at test level at 13. There's always this debate about whether players can chop and change in other positions. Let's see how he goes at the weekend. If he can carry on his form from the wing, bring it in one further, he's going to be a threat. The other thing that Tommy Freeman will bring, of course, is some punch. Now, Ollie Lawrence has given England plenty of dent. And what I mean by that is his carrying ability, his ability to break tackles and get over the gain line. Now, Tommy Freeman, of course, at 13 is a bigger body than Elliot. And I think that they'll be using him there as well. So although we want to get him hands on the ball, we want to exploit him with his wide channels, with his pace and his ability to break tackles, but I think they're also going to have to use him at times to get England over the gain line. So I expect with that back row and the line-out options, 4-mans, 5-mans, as I say, the ball comes down, they insert, they break away. So the back row looks like he's in the 9 position, he hits that maul, he breaks away, and then they use Tommy Freeman coming down that channel as that sort of gain line player, getting at Anscombe a lot. So Ollie Lawrence going out, Tommy Freeman, bigger body. They're going to have to use him at times to get England over the gain line. We've seen him do it for Northampton, of course, off his wing or at 13, and have to use that carrying ability. So that'll be another reason I think that they've gone with Tommy Freeman at 13. That opens up the door for Tom Roebuck coming in on the wing. One of his key attributes, actually, is he is phenomenal at getting in the air, getting one hand up and slapping the ball back. And what that does is it creates turnovers, creates opportunities to then launch your attack. Now, England opt for a very short kicking game. And what I mean by that is they go for a contestable kicking style. So Alex Mitchell will put the ball up with a box kick, and it will be, I'd suppose, 20 metres max, plenty of hang time. Roebuck will get in and he'll disrupt that catcher. He'll get his arm up, he'll slap that ball down. And when you look at the back row of two Currys, Tom Curry and Ben Curry, who've both had phenomenal tournaments, I've got to say. Tom Curry, of course, but Ben Curry, every time he's come on, he's impressed me. So he gets the start. And Ben Earl, that is a very quick, dynamic back row. So as Roebuck goes up and snaps the ball back, one of those back rows will all be all over that ball, giving England unstructured attacking opportunities. So Ollie Sightholm drops out. I think that's through injury. Then we look at Fraser Dingwall, of course, at 12 again. I thought he was really, really good. As I said, I've mentioned about him being the glue in the team and makes others look really good around him, and often a key man for Northampton, and now gets another chance to back that up. So I'm pleased to see him get another go there. Elliot Daly, he drops onto the wing. Of course, played a lot of rugby at 15, played a lot of rugby at 13, but equally he's played a lot of games for England on the wing, so he'll slot in seamlessly, given how well he played at the weekend and what his capability is. Of course, 72 caps now. If we look at fullback, Marcus is back in there. So Marcus is now back in at fullback, so let's see how he gets on distributing, being that second playmaker. Playmaking from further out is a lot different to playmaking further in. Let's hope the roof is closed and it's a dry day. However, the ball does still get wet. And actually, we have a guide to Cardiff that came out today. So if you haven't listened to it, you want to know what it's like from an English perspective to play in Cardiff, have a listen to that. It's on YouTube, and of course, it's on anywhere you get your audios from. Itself and Coley talking about English guide to Cardiff. And I'll tell you about what happens when the roof's closed on that one. So give it a listen. Alex Mitchell continues his relationship with Finn Smith. So yeah, all in all, backline pretty much looking good there. I like Tommy Freeman at 30. I'm excited to see him go. When you think that actually Saints have a 9, 10, 12, 13, that's pretty cool actually. And Elliot Day will be fine, and let's see how Marcus gets on at fullback, of course. Looking at the forwards now. So Luke Cowan-Dickie has come in for Jamie George. Of course, Jamie George got his 100 cap at the weekend. Soon to be 101 against Wales, of course. So Luke Cowan-Dickie, who started all the games except for last week, he comes on. Jamie George, they'll need his experience back end of the game, of course. He's been terrific when he has come on, added huge experience and value, and of course nestling between Finn Baxter and Joe Hayes, two guys that are pretty inexperienced, and they'll need the support of Jamie at the weekend. The back row, let's talk about the back row, because that is a fast, dynamic back row. Tom Curry, Ben Curry and Ben Earl. My gosh, so 3 jackal threats straight away. Dynamic, fast back rowers cover the ground. You might be asking, why would they do this? Well, Wales do a lot of phases. You've seen them go through multi-phase. They like holding onto the ball, trying to go build pressure, ball in hand, run a lot of phase attack. They've clearly picked this many jackalers to target Wales ball. Given the fact they go so many phases, given the fact that they run these patterns, those 3 are going to have license to try and slow it up and cause mayhem in the breakdown against Wales. Now, also, when I said about England kicking short and Roebuck getting up and winning that ball back, of course, Elliot Daly doing the same on the other side, those guys will be all over those loose balls. They are terrific. It also helps, I believe, in terms of just the way that they're defending lately. Now, England have had a bit of trouble in terms of some of the edge defence stuff. Well, you've got 3 guys that can cover that ground very, very quickly. So that's another reason potentially. What is the caveat? What's the bad part of it? Can't really see one apart from line out. That's the only thing. It may affect England's line out, but it'll be fine. England will run 4-man line outs. They'll run 5-man line outs, 6-man probably tops, but they probably stay away from 7-man lineouts because of the lifting options and limits that. But if you think if Wales go with Morgan and Rafael, of course, those guys are not jumpers either. Faletau is, but England should still have enough movement and enough ability to still win their ball comfortably. Of course, we've spoken about it before. Expect there to be a 5-man plus 1, so there'll be an insert, there'll be a back rower just sitting like where the 9 would normally sit off a line out. As the ball comes down, he hits and engages it, inserts. He then pulls away from that maul and they'll try and get into that seam with one of the back rowers. So that is what I expect with that back rower, but I expect them to be all over Wales's breakdown. I expect them to cause havoc at the breakdown, trying to jackal, trying to exploit the fact that Wales go so many phases and go multi-phases. And equally, I think with England, we'll probably return to a bit of a more high kicking game. Those guys will be all over any of those loose balls. And if England do claim it, if Wales do claim it, they will also be an absolute pest at that breakdown. Congratulations to Will Stewart, who's going to make 50 caps this weekend. Hell of an achievement. Myself and Coley spoke about it the other day. His little in and out that's gone viral, of course, against Italy. His ability to break tackles. I think he's really found form, actually. And I've got to say, he, for me, is a certain going on the Lions tour in that tight head position. Whether he becomes a test starter, I don't know. But I think he's certainly played so well that he's certainly someone that's played himself on the tour. So congratulations to him getting 50 caps. Let's move on to the replacements. And there's one that stands out, and this guy is Henry Pollock. Of course, he's been a big part of England under-20s. He's had his breakthrough season at Northampton this year, been a part of the squad. There's a lot of talk about this guy. He's played very, very well throughout this season already, and I think he's got a really bright future. So what a perfect opportunity for him. Go into the Principality. What a place to make your debut. Of course, you always dream about making it at Twickenham, but I tell you what, as an English player going there, that is just one of the best places to play rugby. And I think what an opportunity for him. And I think when they've seen him play, he plays a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of energy. You can see he's absolutely into everything. Well, I tell you what, he'll be into everything at the weekend when he gets on, because it is like that place brings out the best in you. So congratulations to him. I look forward to seeing him get his test debut and go on and get many, many more. So he's a big prospect of England. Unbelievably excited about it. And when you start listing these back rowers, though, that are starting, and then you start thinking, Pollock, my gosh, we are blessed with back rowers. Sam Underhill, of course, injured, missing the whole tournament. You know, he is a bit of a forgotten man. And talking of forgotten man, George Ford is back. A great mate of mine, of course. 98 caps, so close to 100 club now. And good to see him back in. Of course, with Marcus starting at 15, that's opened up the bench spot for George to come in. England opting for a 6-2 once again. But George Ford, been there, done it, seen it all. Great to see him back involved. I think he'll have a big, big part back end of the game, potentially if he comes on in steadying the ship. So there we are. That's the England team for the weekend. I can't wait for it. England gone 6-2. as I say, a couple of standout moments will be Tommy Freeman at 13. Let's see how he goes. Tom Roebuck, let's see how he goes on the wing and deals with playing the Principality. I can't wait to see Fraser Dingwall again get another opportunity. The guy, as I say, is very, very important. And of course, that back row, the dynamic back row. I can't wait to see how they disrupt the breakdown, the way that they go about and cover the ground, especially in terms of England's edge defence. Can they cover that up? And yeah, all in all, a very exciting team. So there we are. That's the England team. Let me know your thoughts. Are you happy to see Tommy Freeman at 13? I certainly am. Are you pleased to see George Ford back involved? Are you pleased to see Marcus get another shot at 15? Finn Smith, of course, at 10. And are you excited for Pollock to get his opportunity and his Test debut? So there we have it. Comment below, get involved. And if you want to hear our guide to Cardiff, please check it out on YouTube or listen to it on audio form. Thanks very much for listening. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and then you'll always be notified and you'll never miss a video.